Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Shunting Yard. It is the Thursday evening. There's 3 of us this week. We're not sure what's happened to Dan, but maybe he'll drop in later on. We hope he's okay because they've been having a lot of weather issues. Hilton, Rob, you can unmute yourselves now. We have entered.
Good evening.
We had to. I thought you unmuted us, but okay.
No, we'll do that. How are we all?
I'm good, man. I'm here. I have drink. Let's do this.
Good. What have you got on?
Currently running around the layout. I've got Tor testing out my newly ballasted track.
Ooh.
Hasn't derailed yet, which is a great thing.
And more importantly, what are you drinking?
Yeah, right. Is that what you asked?
That's my own fault. That's my own fault.
I'm half a bottle in already.
Oh, Christ. Okay.
It's just what I found in the cupboard. It's called the Black Pig.
Black Pig.
From southeastern Australia. That'll make a few of our Discord users quite happy.
Lovely. And Hilton, how are you?
Tried South African wine?
No, not yet.
No.
We make the best wine.
Isn't it just blood of kudu? Sorry.
Yeah, something like that. No, it's yeah, that's pretty much it actually. I'm good. How are you guys? I'm fantastic. I have a glass of Edradour this evening, courtesy of
Lovely.
Bill from Scotland. So cheers, Bill. I'm sure you're joining the chat soon. But some really, really nice whiskey. I must say I'm very impressed.
Lovely. Fantastic.
How are you, James?
Not too bad. I've had a very, very busy week. So I'm ignoring medication and I'm enjoying a nice cider. So cheers. I haven't had a cider. I only have cider when I'm making pulled pork. So I've got one left over. So it had to be drank, you know.
Had to be. Just had to be drank.
Had to be. Yeah, so let's welcome people in. Let's start from the beginning. So Rinka has been here since the very beginning. Dimmore has been here since, commented at 9:51 this morning. Christ, that's early.
That's devotion. Has he been here since then?
That's commitment. That's
commitment.
I love it.
He commented, TT120 is here to stay. There you go. First official comment of the stream. TT120 is here to stay. Love it. Is it? We'll discuss that. We'll get into that. Rinko has been here passing on some knowledge. So thank you very much, Rinko. We'll get through to that in a little while. Of course, Phil, our moderator and Discord moderator, is here as well. Thank you very much. Morwood, welcome. Who else have we got here? Train Guy, welcome, Train Guy. Anybody? If you want to introduce yourself, please go ahead in the chat. We'd love to be able to get to know you. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Yeah, welcome everybody. So, what are we talking about this week? Hilton.
TT120, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Not something we thought we were going to be talking about this early, but yeah, you mentioned it, so you carry on, mate.
No. So I think Hornby's had a stunner of a week. Let's be honest. No one expected. I think what we got, and I know we'll unpack it just now, but it really did sort of bring to mind just how committed to TT they are, despite our discussions a couple of weeks ago of how potentially they might be not that interested in TT or how they should focus on Double O. So it's really, really cool to see that they are going all in on TT. And I think we were going to discuss heritage railways and the role in model railways this evening, but we kind of decided, let's pivot. It seems like a big week for TT, so let's discuss it.
Yeah, completely agree with that. It's a massive week for TT. I think Hornby have blown a few heads in opposite directions as the way they might have been looking. Just looking at a few social media comments since yesterday. We did have a different topic lined up. You're going to have to wait until next week to find out what that was.
I just said it.
Did you?
Spoiler!
Why did you say it?
Sorry.
Well, that's it. Yes, we are getting a lot of echo. Somebody has a new microphone, don't you, Rob?
It's probably me then.
So we haven't worked out the headphones yet. He might have to sit far away from his phone.
Then I won't be able to hear what's going on.
You can still hear the echo, even if Rob's on the other side of the room, James.
Is it that?
I will. What I'll
That
do is
mic
I'll
isn't that
turn the
good.
mic off and I'll just use the phone like I've done in the past for now. Okay.
We'll figure that out when we
No,
get
it's okay. It's okay. You're nice and clear. I like that.
there.
You don't want to
If it
hear
gets
yourself.
annoying, deal with it. No, we don't want to say that. J. Paul Anderson, thank you. Evening all. Hi, Hilton and Co. Hi. Welcome. Yes, so
These are just the other guys.
This is the other guys. I'm just seeing names as they come in. Yeah, I mean it's TT120. What can we? I think it's the one topic that all three of us have an opinion on, but not so much visibility on, if any.
Yeah, we should have got a TT guest here, but I don't think we know anyone.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, people don't talk about it much in the Discord. Like, it's there.
Yeah,
You know?
most of our guys are double O and N. And
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
and some O, like Rob.
Oh, yeah. No, we need to talk about TT120. Is it an up and coming scale? Is it something that's come back? I think, as Rinka mentioned beforehand, TT scale itself is not new. It was around 40 odd years ago, and then was absolutely blown out of the water by N, and then again by Double O. But being tabletop, 120. Is that is it something that is going to bring new modelers into it? And I think we're following along. Well, we're following on a lot from what SVJ and James were talking about on their latest episode of Model Rail Replacement Podcast, where they were talking about modern. Oh, Rob's dropped. He'll be back. Where they were talking about modernization and whether or not it's affecting the hobby in a negative way. And I think Sam almost hit the nail on the head with maybe this is what TT will be for. And they did have quite a bit of modern stuff in TT 120 this time. I mean, they have one or two things that will bring pre-grouping or steam modelers in. Nothing Great Western yet again. We're never going to get anything in TT 120. But. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think for me it's still on the fence, but at a high level. If I look into it, I might change my mind. But
yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, I think like what we've seen, and I'm actually looking at releases right now. I mean, it's not one or the other. I don't feel like TT is definitely the modern era gauge. I can see what you're saying. I think perhaps they've spread themselves a bit wide, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but maybe a little bit more focus was needed.
Yeah.
I'm almost arguing with myself, because at the same time I feel like, yeah, it's cool to have the modern stuff, but also it's great to, focus on the very basics that Hornby seems to do right, like the big four. Bar the Great Western, because we clearly don't have any of those.
Nah.
No.
I mean, even for Southern modelers, I mean, yeah, cool. You're getting a terrier, and it's, don't get me wrong, I'm super excited to see just how detailed the little terrier will be when it comes out. But I mean, the LNER has already got two Pacifics. So does the LMS. Diesel wise, it's inevitable. I'm surprised the 66 came out before the 37, to be honest, but that's just me. We got an 08. We got the HST, which is a no-brainer. But yeah, I don't know. It's sitting in kind of a strange place for me, because it's enough that I'm interested, but not enough that I'm ready to invest. However, and we'll discuss it later, we need to talk about that starter set.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be one of the key points that we end up getting to. But I mean, it looks like they are starting to cater for a wider array of modelers. I mean, that Terrier is probably the pinnacle, I think, of the announcements. Having that Terrier, complete die-cast body, by the way, completely die-cast,
That's impressive.
which is really impressive. I think during the announcement, the designer was saying how sorry he is for whoever has to assemble that thing in the factory because it's so detailed and so intricate in such a tiny space. So, and it looks great. It really looks great. And if I was a TT fan, I'd probably be a lot more excited than I was, or than I am, let's say.
Sure.
But I mean,
Sure.
I think it's a step in the. I still think it's a step in the right direction for Hornby. If they want to be keeping TT120 alive, it's a great announcement for doing exactly that. Whether or not it will continue to bring in new modelers like they expect it to, I'm not sure.
So this is where I think I have to start talking about that starter pack because
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that thing.
Great.
I think there's a lot of modelers in different gauges right now looking at it and going, I could give that a go. Like, I don't need to go further. Let's just try it.
Yeah, no, I completely
Rob,
agree.
can you hear us? Are you good?
I can hear you. Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
I'm listening.
He's put it in his headphones now instead of on the microphone. He's doing a good boy.
The key is to put the headphones in first, then the mic.
We learn weekly.
We learn weekly.
Every day is a school day.
So,
Rob is slamming that wine. Damn.
I know, right?
One glass down.
Jackie's almost as red as the glass.
So, for those
It's really warm up here.
It's really warm, is it? So,
Yeah.
For those interested, what we're talking about is this. We're talking about the branch line freight train set. DCC ready. It's their B4 chassis. And I think now this makes a lot more sense as to why they brought it out in 00 first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because here it is in TT120. And I mean, a loco, 2 wagons, was it an oval of track? Yeah, an oval of track, re-railer, and power cord. What more can you want? I mean, it's £100.
And a buffer stop.
And a buffer stop. Yes, sorry. It's £900 through Hornby, and I think I've seen it at 75 quid
It's
at the
actually a bargain.
retailers, which is an absolute bargain for a beginner. If you want to, like, I mean, I almost thought about buying this for my daughter. And she's
it's not bad.
She's 4 this year. Like,
But
I
it's
wouldn't feel bad with her having this. It's
Well, the
maybe a
thing
little
is-
bit too young, but I wouldn't feel bad spending 75 quid on it. I'm going to spend 75 quid on, a lot of other tap for her. This would be, at least up some street. And I think a lot of people could say the same thing about their kids.
Would you
Honestly,
say that this B4 is... Sorry, Rob. Would you say that this B4 is a better tooling, almost visually, than the 00 version?
Yes.
Because to me, it looks detailed.
It almost looks like they designed it in TT first and blew it up in 00.
That's exactly what they did.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what it looks like to me. Look at the axle proportions. Look at the, everything under here. It just looks better to me.
Yeah,
that is a perfect TT scale version of that.
There you are. Hang on, I'm going to go back to the main screen. You can show that up again, Rob.
It's a perfect TT representation of that.
I mean, other than the steps behind the cylinders, I think the dimensions are pretty spot on.
I'd say so. They literally just blew it up for 00 gauge and are selling it at a lower price because it's going to be less detailed when the bigger it gets.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I don't think it's designed to be like a high-end model. It's not. It's just supposed to pique your interest. Right.
That locomotive in double O gauge is going to be a brilliant chassis for anybody that models in the same scale as me, because it's DCC ready. It's going to be the first one of its kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Robert, I want that. I want that loco, Robert. I want that loco.
You mean this one?
Yes, that one. I really want it.
Why?
I'm doing a video on it first, Hill.
I know. It's fine. I shared that with Rob a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey, look at this." And he was like, "Okay, I'm buying it." And then I was like, "Damn it! I actually kind of wanted it."
So yeah, I mean, I think it's a great step in. What I think is the problem, and I think is the miss here, is this should have been the set that came out when they announced TT.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
I think they should have brought out 2 sets, Flying Scotsman set, because that's what Hornby are going to do anyway, and a starter set like this.
Yeah.
You know, Phil coming up saying that wish the set existed last year, would have saved a few quid buying Scotsman TT 120, ditched the controller, though they are bad. I mean, yes, they are bad, but the idea is that this is for someone. It should be for someone getting into the hobby. It should be as basic as possible.
Sure.
Right.
Completely agree.
I get the impression when they first started TT that they were appealing to the enthusiasts more than the beginners, purely because of the Scotsman and the A4 set. No beginner would have gone for that if this was available, if the B4 was available, if that new set was available.
I think it was a huge misstep, to be honest, to go straight for the jugular with high-end
Scotsman
stuff.
set.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think this was the direction that they should have gone from the first place, and I think that's why all of us are kind of like, hey, okay, not bad.
You got to think that starter set's the gateway drug, isn't it? It's your entry.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
and that's how it should be.
Absolutely.
If you put those sets at 250 quid an entry, people are going to be like, you know what, I'll stay with what I got. But if you make it 100 quid, even people like us are like, you know what, that's actually, I might even just get one for myself to test it. It's.
Well, look, let me show this back here, and we can compare exactly that. So, looking at the train sets here, just a quick side note, actually. So, Rinka said it looks like a real toy train. Sorry, yeah, and honestly, I'm okay with that. As a starter train set, I am okay with that. As that exactly how it should be. You shouldn't be forcing someone who is new to the hobby, or someone who wants to bring someone into the hobby, to pay big money for a highly detailed set. It should be as basic and bare bones as possible.
Yeah, especially if you consider then. Well, I mean, Rinka, I see he says now drop the price. Agreed, but already I think it's quite cheap. If you're looking at retailers, you're looking at £70, maybe a little 75, 80. I think that's a very fair price for a British starter these days.
You wouldn't get a play train set for cheaper than that.
Let's have a look.
Yeah,
so
it's not for Teshi.
That's true. Okay, so Rails have got it at $89.99, but I can see this dropping to below 75,
especially around Christmas.
Yes,
it's just going to plummet.
But if you look at the other sets that are on offer here, so this is dwarfing by almost £100 at the Hornby their closest setup, which is the Easterner, which is an A4.
Yeah,
and then this. Well, I mean, yeah, but are you expecting that much? You look at the HST as well. The HST and the Scotsman, and definitely the Easterner, are looking at people that are in the hobby, and maybe they're trying to grab the money out of it, which is fair because you've launched something new and you need to get on with it. This, I think, should have been out at the same time.
The price disparity. Sorry, James, this is the first time I'm looking at this. I'm going to go on a slight different tangent here. But
Carry
the
price
disparity between the Easterner, which is the base starter set, obviously just DC running. Then you've got the Easterner with sound is £100 more. No, it's no. Sorry, I'm not working. Okay, no, that's about right. Okay, sorry, I was misreading. I was thinking like there was something wrong about like the HM7000 price.
No.
All good. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
everyone.
well, no, but I mean, look at the Scotsman. The Scotsman set here, which is with 2, is 24999. The Easterner with sound is 24999. Sound fitted.
Yeah.
Like that's a
Yeah.
that's a price disparity I'm more concerned about.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, I think this is great. I think the freight set is great, and I'm here for it with Hornby. I think they made the right call there in that respect.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I do really like that Scotsman set with the Pullmans.
Yeah.
Do you now, Rob? You heard it here first, folks.
Phil is making sure that we know that it's not a Flying Scotsman set. It's a Blink Bonnie.
It's the train, not the locomotive.
It's the train, not the locomotive, which arguably is the reason that people should know the Scotsman. Anyway, let's not turn this into a.
I feel like people would be automatically confused by that and just buy it thinking they were buying Flying Scotsman.
People are automatically confused by it.
Which locomotives in the A4 set?
Sneaky.
I am not sure.
No idea.
I'm going to look.
Anyway,
Pullmans have working lights. Okay.
We're tangenting like mad.
It's fine. That's what we do.
It is William. It's William Whitelaw.
So that's not even Mallard. Hornby, you're pushing the boat out.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? You know, they missed a hit there.
I have blue with balances.
I have said if someone offered me the Intercity in Swallow livery, in TT 120, I would not turn my nose down.
Yeah, then you could get like a full loop of track instantly.
I would accept it gracefully. Anyway,
but would you build your own track?
No, TT 120
oh my
would
god,
be horrible. That would be no. I'm good, thanks. Orders received. Okay, Rinka, hear you about the price. Tilling TT starts at €165 for a starter set, but then you get a well-detailed product and quality. I mean, fair.
That is fair.
It's 100% fair. You know, but what's €165 in normal money?
I'm working it out now.
But with Hornby, you're paying for the brand as well.
You're paying for manufacturing and hiked prices anyway.
Yeah.
That's
165 euros is 142.29 pounds sterling. So it is more expensive than Hornby by a fair bit. 60 odd pounds. And I understand the quality differences is probably substantial. However, given that it's a new market and they need to break into it, I'm going to make the argument for Hornby,
which we don't do often.
It's a fairly well priced starter set to get young people into it, and I think that's so key to all of this is that the fact that if you're going to buy a TT starter set at this point, whether it's for you or for your kids, the people who are going to play with that kind of starter set are younger people, and that sets them up for life with TT, right? That's like the beginning of their model train journey now.
Well, as a person who bought the play train set for my daughter, brand new from Hornby, I think I paid £65 for that. And that's just plastic track with a remote control locomotive. It isn't much good. 3-speed options. It has a little bit of sound to it, but they're not very good. I would have much rather paid £20 extra for something she could expand upon.
Yeah.
Something a bit more substantial. Yeah. I gave up waiting for this TT set, and and now she knows how to drive this. The NG7 now. But 2 years ago, I would have been hook, line, and sinker into this, buying it for her.
I think a lot of people might have been the same, and that's why I think it's important to reiterate. I think this should have been out at launch. Yeah, because that's what they were marketing. That's what they were marketing TT 120 as, is bringing a new generation of modelers who don't have the space that we might have had in our youth, or our fathers, our grandfathers, and everything had.
Yep.
It's tabletop. It's 100% designed that you can take off your tablecloth, build it on the table, run your trains around, and then pack it away at the end of the day. That's exactly what it's designed for.
Absolutely, and I think that this is a very long game by Hornby. I think that potentially this is where they might go in 50 years' time, is completely into TT once this generation's passed through.
Yeah,
and we've got a new era of TT 120 modelers. So it's
absolutely.
I think it's smart, but as you said, they should have started with this. That makes a lot of sense. But I, for one, if I had a kid in the next couple of years, which we'll see, I definitely would be buying them a TT 120 set to get them going, because there's no space in the modern household. Well, in most modern households, for a 00 layout. And this, like you said, you pack it out, you play with it, and you pack it up. You can put it on a small piece of board. It can go into a cupboard. It's absolutely perfect under the bed. There's tons of space for it, and you can have something really intricate and really playable in a very small amount of space.
Yes, completely agree. I mean, look at Joseph, that model railway guy, the model railway guy. He made that beautiful TT 120 layout on a very small frame that you can fit in the back of most cars. Like, you don't have to break it down completely. Like, absolutely incredible. I'm not saying that 00 is 00 starter sets aren't great, but they're definitely tailored for people that have got space to put it up and leave it up.
Well, you guys, you four know that before I started NG7, I was oohing and ahhing about TT, wasn't I? If this set was available then, I'd probably have A4s and A3s running around here.
Yeah.
Surprise,
surprise. You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it. We're done. That's it.
All right. Duchesses and HSTs.
I just want to say, though, to Moorwood's point, he said, we've been doing it for years. We solved that problem with N-Gauge. Agreed. Completely agreed. And I totally understand that point. However, it doesn't have the kid friendliness that TT does. TT is that lovely balance point where, you don't have to be super delicate and have that kind of fidelity with it. It's big enough to almost feel like 00 for kids. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it doesn't have that, like, that intricacy of, like, railing a train. It's a nightmare in N. I'm not a big N guy. Nothing against N, but it's just not something I'd want to do, to be honest with you. It looks like
when Lola was a baby, I was collecting N-Gauge at the time, and I would never have thought of giving her my N-Gauge rolling stock at all. TT, the way that they are starting to put it across now, is that they are not. The B4 especially isn't as detailed as the N-Gauge equivalents, but you can see it being handled by a child, whereas high-end, say, Graham Farish items, you wouldn't want them to handle because of all the details that could break off. I've actually seen the TT, Pacifics as well. They're not massively detailed to the point where if you touch them, a cylinder cock is going to break off.
Yeah,
it does seem like the perfect scale to give to children from starting from 5+, for example.
Yeah, sure. I think so, for sure. Rinka, I believe it's exactly. I think you've hit the nail on the head in your own question there. It's tabletop 120 scale. It's exactly that. I believe the old TT was scaled 3 millimeters, and I believe this is it 3 mil? I'm not 100% sure. That's how not clued in we are, by the way.
Well, N gauge is 2 mil, OO gauge is 4 mil.
4 mil, so I'm assuming yes. Cylinder cocks would have to fit true.
2.54.
2.54. But that's the other thing as well. So that's the other reason. This is why I think they were also. I think they missed the mark on the launch because they marketed it as the next true scale. I remember that specifically through their marketing, that they were blasting constantly that it was, it's a true scale, not like 00. Not, 00 is a hash of, it's slightly bigger than 4 millimeters to the foot, and we had to scale everything to fit on HO track. But no, TT 120 is an exact scale, and that's why it's going to be popular.
It's the nearest true scale you're going to get before you get to O gauge.
Yeah, and I don't think that was that should have been the selling point they were going for, quite honestly.
No. So sell it to sell it to people who are just starting out. Sell it to kids who want to get into the hobby. Sell it to people who want this dream of being able to lay out their railway on a table. And be able to put it away at night so they can eat their dinner on it, for example. It's
built for it.
No one coming into the hobby cares about the scale.
This is
unless
true.
You're German.
Yeah.
Unless you're German, yeah. But, okay, let's not go into that level where we start, taking the piss out of the Germans, because us British could do that all day.
So
yeah.
Phil's saying, to be honest, personally, if Hornby wanted another scale, N gauge, like they did, or O especially, when they're not the best place financially, I don't think they should have picked another scale at all. I think that's my own. I think when TT 120 came out, I think that was 100% a Simon Kohler brain idea, and they just had to run with it because they were told to. That's my inkling. I think they should have focused on 00 and just pushed it properly.
Yeah, we said this last time. I think we discussed this. They should have just stuck to their guns. I completely agree with you. However, now that we're here, and it seems that we are committed to TT 120,
and it is staying.
And it is staying. It does seem like they're kind of heading in the right track, and I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Although Hornby are late to the party, they are finally putting out what they need to make this scale work.
I want to get some TT 37s. I won't lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm surprised you're saying that, Hilton, because look what they released in TT 120 right here, that somebody else in the Discord pointed out not long ago.
I know.
It's almost like somebody at Hornby has been looking at you going, hey, we could open up a new market here with this guy.
Hey, Hilton, I've heard you're into class 37s.
I heard you like locks.
Yeah. But no,
Hilton will bring out a brand new one in O gauge soon. He'll be like, hey, Hilton, it's waving at you like this.
I know. But no, it's coming.
They've got what, three versions of the class 37. So you've got your era 4, and your modernized up to all the way up to modern era with the EWS.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what you're pointing at.
I don't know modern stuff. Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, so the EWS is the most modern, but yes, right, absolutely.
I don't class Virgin and DNER as modern, because I remember seeing Virgin running around when that disappeared when I was 5.
We're talking late 90s.
Yeah. So I'm not too sure about that, but they are sticking to it. They're looking at their demographic, and that's what I think is looking here. And I think that's another thing that certain other people were trying to hit on the head there, is they're looking at a specific demographic of people with these modern aesthetics. They're looking at the 30-year-olds. They're looking at the people that are suddenly getting into money and time.
Oh,
No,
Oh no!
but that's the
me.
point. That's the point. Rinka has asked to open up the very expensive GNR HST pack. So this is DCC 18-pin ready.
It's 2 locos. I mean, 2 units, but no coaches, right?
Well. So, but is it a dummy and a motor, or is it 2 motors? Like
I imagine
flat?
it's 2 locos.
Because if I remember,
I think it's 2 motors. Yeah.
I would hope so.
I don't think
For that
the only ones that put out HSTs with 1 power car now are Hornby in the
No.
old Lima tooling.
There you are. It's 1 motorized, 1 dummy.
No way! You're paying £100 for a dummy car.
You're paying £100 for a dummy unit that takes that. You're paying £100 for a dummy unit that probably requires a HM7000 decoder or something to be able to run sounds in the opposite direction with their new consist.
Well, this is why I've never bought an HST. Just saying.
I'm going to stick to a Duchess.
Symbol of British high speed. What am I looking for, Rinka?
In Engage, you can get 2 power cars and 2 coaches from Dapol, I believe, for about £300.
It has lighting within the
Yeah, but
passenger compartments.
The Dapol Engage one has lighting
Yeah,
in the coaches.
I don't get it. I mean, is that worth an extra £100 in a dummy model to have lighting in it that you need to spend another bit on a decoder? They both run away.
I've had my first carriage disconnect. Bear with me.
Oh, derail.
No, it's not derailed. It's just been pushing around a coach. It's been top tailing.
So yeah, does having interior lighting warrant another £100 when you've got to spend 60?
Absolutely not.
To put a decoder in it. So actually, you're looking at £160 to have access to a lighting functionality, because I doubt this connection has got cables that will go through all of the coaches so that this decoder can control. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Not gonna lie, this is where I think, you know what? That Lima tooling of their 00 gauge HSTs
Right.
isn't that bad.
Right. So yeah, I think this is a bit extortionate from them. I've gone back too far. Yeah, I think that's a bit
taking
extortionate.
a look at Peachy's video on the HST to see what the coupling looks like.
Hang on. I'm going to take the... Rinka's got a point here. The passenger compartment of the loco. How many passengers sit in the locomotive of a HST?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. I don't know HSTs.
None.
Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah, Rinka, thanks for pointing that out.
I didn't know they let people sit in the.
I mean, that'd be great.
Mail compartment.
Can I sit in it, please? But let's not bash Hornby for so long. Let's look at the good things that have come out of this. So we have to talk about the Terrier in a little bit more detail.
The Terror.
The Terror. Shush you.
And I said I'm half cut.
I mean, look at it. It's lovely. It looks great. If it looks like this in the actual finished product, I will be amazed.
Morwood's come and said that we should talk that he wants to make look at the cheaper Engage options, and yeah, there are some. In fairness, Engage is very competitive against TT, I find, especially when Rails throw out these offers to like HST sets and things like that from Dapol. You know, you can get a book set from Dapol for £250 for a DCC ready HST and Engage, and yeah, TT and Engage are completely head to head here, and
well,
stop laughing at me.
Keep going, Rob. It's fine. Sorry.
Yeah, you're doing well, mate.
No.
Do you want another drink?
You know,
He's gone.
no. TT and N-Gage are going head to head at the moment, and the thing is with N-Gages, they have the range, whereas the TT doesn't. And N-Gage do have a lot of reasonably priced models as well. Like you can probably you can pick up a A4 for about £150 on rails, easy.
Sure.
And compared to the TT equivalent, I mean, you're showing now the Terrier at 160 quid for an 060. I mean,
I think it's a bit over.
Dude, I can get a Class 08 in O gauge for that.
I mean, yeah, you can for sure.
I think you need to consider though that this is a new tool. It seems to be very, very intricate in comparison to a lot of the other stuff.
Agreed.
We've seen so
Yeah,
far.
but the brand new Gauge Master Class 09 is brand new tooling in O gauge, and it's a 210 quid.
Sure.
I mean, sure.
And it's
but I still don't think it's that bad.
I have to make a comparison. Terriers, and specifically Hornby models of Terriers, are the Volvos of the model railway world and the real railway world. So I think it was expected. But I think this is also foreshadowing. Maybe we'll get a new updated tooling again, like a more up-to-date tooling of the 00 Terrier.
My Hornby Terrier.
No, we don't need another bloody Terrier.
We do. We need an updated Stepney.
James, we had it. we had one.
I know
like...
it's very recently. I know.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Right. Let's have a gander.
I do get that the Terriers are Hornby's bread and butter, but I still see £160 for a model that's it's not very big, is it? And I suppose it depends on what the details like when it comes out, doesn't it? Because all we've seen is renders at the moment.
Well, that's the thing. There was the engineering sample that was fully die cast, and it looked great, but until we see it moving and hopping around, I don't think we'll be able to give a decent opinion.
The Terrier is not Hornby's bread and butter. That is the Flying Scotsman.
Oh, it's the Flying Scotsman. Never compare a glorious Terrier to the teapot.
All right, Hill. All right.
Sam makes an interesting comparison here, saying that I could almost see Terriers as the A10 warthogs of the railway world.
Where's Dan? Where is he?
If a Terrier suddenly made a burr like an A10 warthog, I would shit myself.
Yeah, imagine that coming through the platform, right?
Thunderblade saying, my only thought with the Terriers is that they are all the same identities as previous 00 releases. Would have been nice to get some unique releases for TT. I completely agree. I completely agree there. They name dropped Stepney during the announcement for it, and I haven't seen any
famous of them all,
which is the most famous of them all. And you would be thinking, oh, okay, yeah, missed that completely.
Don't worry, they're doing it. They're doing it again. They're doing the thing where they sell you all the ones that like you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. But the one you really want is coming later. But you have to buy this first.
And this is
you have FOMO. Otherwise, if they release Stepney now, everyone would buy that and that would be done. Terrier's done.
Yes. No, I don't think that's strictly true. Purely because Mattel tried to sue the Neen Valley and Bluebell because of Thomas and Stepney. I don't think because of Hornby falling out with Mattel over the whole Hornby branding that they'll ever release Stepney.
True.
Why is America the way it is?
So hang on, we're talking about legal.
Made me spill out my wine.
We're talking legal. We're talking legal here. Thunderblade has a very interesting point. Technically, Stepney is number 32655. It's just in
It
BR Black
is.
without the name. So
It
they
is,
managed.
But is it worth Hornby tripping over Mattel and going through that legal battle worth it?
No. Not on paper, anyway. Not monetarily wise. For a scale like TT, it's not worth it.
Unless they have some sort of partnership with Bachmann, who've got the rights, to release it.
Sorry, but why? I mean, I understand the Thomas thing. Clue me in here, guys, because why is it that Mattel have rights to a single locomotive that is not even in their country? I know it's part of Thomas, but like,
that's literally it.
What the hell?
What the hell? It's literally it.
No one owns Stepney. Like that's
no.
It's just a like that just doesn't make sense. Why are you suing someone over an English locomotive that's not in your country?
Well, technically, this could tie into next week, but technicalities would mean that the Bluebell Railway themselves own the rights to Stepney, purely because they have the locomotive and it is part of their home fleet. But because Mattel owned the character, they feel that they have the rights to Stepney as well.
As a model.
And
anything that has Stepney as a model will be referred to as part of the Railway series books and the animated character.
Absolutely. And that is why Dapol never released a
Stepney
model in
It's a stupid argument. It is 100% a stupid argument, but the law is stupid.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm genuinely surprised. I think the Bluebell should sue. They should sue Mattel.
It's basically the American way of doing things. If you don't get what you want, try and sue them, isn't it?
No, I know. That's why, why is America the way they are? But like the principle, like, I don't know, Bluebell should sue Mattel and then just build an entire network of heritage railways.
Well, it's funny you say that. So actually, the creator of the series, Britt Allcroft's company, tried a lawsuit, which got nowhere. So people have been trying to sue the Bluebell line for the naming rights. I say people, like a few people.
But that's why I'm surprised. They just show them an old black and white picture of that locomotive and say, "It's this one." Over there in the shed, it's the exact loco, so you can't really.
So Matt, yes, you could make a Bluebell Railway exclusive, and I think we touched on exclusivity versus limited edition in last week's episode. But again, there are so many loopholes that would end up being jumped through. It just becomes insane and not worth it. You can get models of Stepney without the face in the yellow livery. Just so we're aware, it's just stupidly old tooling.
This just sounds like another an episode for another day, or a green what's his name guy who does gauge the issue and steam locos in profile kind of thing.
Chris Eaton Green,
him. It sounds like an episode he'd do on trademarking and locomotives in reality.
But we're diverging away from TT in itself.
Yeah, back on topic.
Sure. Back on topic, people. Come on.
This is your fault, Rob.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry. I'm
fault.
Drunk.
Don't say that. No. So I'm curious to get people's thoughts from the chat. How you guys see TT120? Are you interested by it? Like, have you bought into it? What's going on in your heads, because it's all well and good us talking about it. We've got absolutely no idea what we're doing. Hint, hint.
Hey no.
But I'm very, very curious to get your guys' opinions on. So please let us know. Phil's bought it. We know you've bought it, Phil, and we know you slightly regret it now.
Well, Phil, do you have a starter set? I'd like to know that. Put it that way, because I know you've got locos, but do you have a set? Can you run your TT? No.
From what I've seen on the Discord is that he's a Scotsman enjoyer, so he's just bought the locomotives.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sam, I almost considered exactly the same thing, and I think again this comes to the this comes to the point of if they had released the range with a starter set, if they'd brought out a Class 08 with a few wagons, I would have been sold and I would have bought a set. I instantly would have bought a set, and I think a lot of other people would have.
I think at least one of us in the Shunting Yard hosts would have a TT set easily.
If they made a 37 set, I'd be so in. I'd be all over that stuff.
We know.
I was almost hook, line, and sinker with a HST before I chose NG7.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I don't know if I choose. I don't know if I choose TT120 over NG7. Mind. I don't know. I think I would have regretted it. I think I would have regretted if I'd bought one of the current TT120 sets, not one of the hypothetical ones that they should have released with. If I'd bought one of the current TT120 sets, and then a few months later, Bachmann announced the NG7 sets, I think I would have regretted it.
I would have been livid, James.
I think I would have regretted it because they are fantastic.
Sure.
Thunderblade, as a GW modder, there is nothing yet that makes it interesting to me. My wallet is thankful. Let me clue you in on a secret. You're going to be waiting a while. I don't think they're going to bring anything Great Western out for another year or so. I don't think they will. They would have done it already.
I genuinely think that you and me, James, would have fallen for that if they'd have released like a pannier tank in a set.
No, I don't think pannier tank in a set. I think Class 08 in a set I would have dropped, but a pannier tank in a set, no, because...
What about a 1400 in an auto coach?
Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in a starter set for a new gauge. It doesn't make sense.
No, I think you're right. And in fairness, Hornby specialise in LNER and LMS, don't they? In all fairness, so they are going down the right tracks in their business strategy. If Dapol were to get involved, it'd be GWR galore for them. It would really would be.
Galaf. It's
GWR Galaf.
It's not so much. It's not so much like that they're focused on LNER or LMS or whatever. It's more that if you want to bring a new generation of people into the hobby, what shunting locomotives are out on the network still, or are heritage sites that you see Class 08s everywhere.
Yeah,
you
There's
see
one at Wolverhampton Locomotive Works.
You see Hunslets everywhere. Do you see terriers everywhere? No, there's a few. What was the one that they brought out before? Was it the J50?
J70? No, not J70.
Was it J52? No, J50.
Yeah.
Where is a J50?
There's none in existence.
There's none in preservation.
Sure.
So a new person into the hobby is going to look at that and go, "What is that? And why do I care?"
There are a couple of LNER fans that would fall for that hook, line, and sinker though, because it is a very nice model.
But that's my point. That's my point of they launched a new range to cater for an existing market to try and they tried to take away their own customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that being said, but
they're doing
you guys
well.
Touched on it earlier. I don't think that Hornby is an LNER LMS company. I think
they've proved that with the Saint, haven't they?
No, absolutely. No, I think they've catered very well for the Big Four across the board over the years. I think lately we've seen a return to LNER and perhaps LMS, but I would disagree with anyone who says that they are exclusively focused on that, because they're not, and they've made some great models of both the Southern and GWR. So
don't you disagree with me, Hilton?
No, I have to agree with Hilton. They have been catering for each of the Big Four over the last few years, and they've been doing it quite well. I mean, they have been putting too much of a sprinkling on their flagships, their flagship models. But I mean, they're well within their right to do so. It's what sells, and if
And
it
also
sells,
bear in
you
mind,
make money.
Yeah, I know. I mean, bear in mind with this centenary, just a few years ago, all those toolings were on the way, and as such, they're just making the most of them at the time.
Yeah.
But lately, it does feel like we're kind of maybe turning the clock a little bit and switching to the other ones. I mean, again, the Saint is, I think, a prime example that Hornby hasn't forgotten about the other guys. I just think it's a shame at this point that we've got 3 LNER locos as opposed to not a single GWR loco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What they should have really done is gone with a model at the very start. Instead of like an A3, A4, they should have gone for like something, a BR standard, a 2MT, a 4MT, or even a Black 5, something that was seen everywhere. Everybody could
a
use.
Black 5 would have been great. Yeah.
I think that's exactly it. I think also Rinka here is also coming up with a good point, is that new hobbyists tend to buy what they remember from their youth.
Absolutely.
Which is why for me, this release, with the HSTs in GNER and Virgin Trains livery, I remember that when I was a wee lad. I remember them trundling up and down the line. I remember going on the Virgin Trains HST.
I'm
but
with
that's
James
the only
right here,
thing that tickles me.
Yeah, because the thing that almost drew me is those intercity liveried HSTs. Because growing up in rugby, I used to see intercity swallow liveried HSTs, class 91s, class 82s, speeding through there daily, and almost had me.
But I think that's why I'm slightly confused as to what they did bring out. I can't remember a few of them being on heritage lines. And I think that's exactly why something like a BR standard or a Black 5 or I hate to say it, even a castle, or something like that, something that has been around in the preservation scene for a while that kids will know.
Yeah.
That when they get to their mid-20s and 30s, they remember going, I remember that. I remember that like it was yesterday. Annie, a Ginty would have been good. Yes, a Ginty would have been good.
Have they even announced a Black 5 for TT yet?
No,
they haven't.
That's
I mean, if you look at, I think the biggest miss of their lineup right now, I'm going through their logos, is the J50.
Yeah,
it really is. It's the odd one out because everything else is relevant and popular enough to be, something that appeals to someone. The 08s, the A4s, the A3s, the 66s, the 50s, 37s. I mean, that's all the HSTs. That's all stuff that is popular pretty much everywhere and will sell. But the J50 is really specific.
It should have been. Sorry, Rob, carry on.
It's a nice loco. It really is. But considering none of them exist in preservation, anybody new that's coming into the hobby will not know what one is.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it. It's my opinion, and I will stick to my guns. The J50 should have been a pannier.
Yeah.
Or a austerity.
Or an austerity.
The guns look austerity.
Something that is all over the shop, that you go to any heritage site and it's either been there or they have one on site permanently.
They could have just downsized their 00 gauge 060 Peckett. That would have been a sure seller.
Just a quick one here from Sam. I think Hornby would do better to find their equivalent of a Smoky Joe in TT120, not necessarily the same loco in the smaller scale, but equally something bizarre. I think that's what they're trying to do with the B4.
They've got the chassis for it now with the B4.
Yeah,
they'll milk that for all it's worth now.
We will see that will be the TT120 pocket rocket chassis for the next 20 years.
Absolutely, it's DCC ready. It's got age on its. It's got age on its. in its grasp now. That thing will go for 20 years. That chassis will last.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Russell
like,
here. Sorry, just like
the double O gauge equivalent now with the B4 as well.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Russell here hitting nail on the head. I think with what we've already mentioned is it's Simon Kohler being the flagship for this. He does like his Linears and Pullmans.
Yeah,
we all love our
totally
Pullmans because they look
I'm just
nice,
going to get some more whiskey. I'll be right back.
You carry on, mate. You carry on. Phil, imagine a Ruston 48 DS in TT120, dude. We're gonna pull this out every stream now, aren't we? This thing is already small enough. I like. How much smaller do you want it?
I'll tell you what, right? When Hilton finally buys this B4 off me, I'm going to get an O gauge Ruston 48.
Oh, do it. They look so good. Annie, we need a Trojan in as the new 040. I mean, as an 040 in 00, yes. In TT, please no.
As an avid GWR man myself, Trojan is obviously has never had a model made of it, and I don't think it ever will.
No, I don't think we're going to get a ready-to-run model in 00 of Trojan. In any scale, I don't think we're going to get a Trojan, which is a pity. I really want one.
It's way too niche.
But it's the right niche. Annie, yes, an austerity was announced, but not in TT120, which is the topic of discussion today.
Can I just... I want to bring something else into this TT discussion, if that's okay.
Sure.
No, Rob, absolutely not.
You have no opinion here.
Who put 50p in him? The alarming thing that reads in my mind regarding TT is the lack of other manufacturers getting involved in it. Because at the moment, Hornby pretty much have a monopoly on it.
There's a reason.
That's what they wanted.
There's a reason. There's 100% a reason for that.
Sales.
No, I think there was something legal going on in the background.
Yeah, because Helgen had to take a step back.
Helgen were about to announce an entire range, and then just went, yeah, now we're not doing it. You know, and yeah. Pico took a few months and waited, and were like, okay, now we'll tell people that we developed some stuff, and here it is, ready to go.
No, Helgen backed out because Hornby announced a Class 31 that Helgen were also developed. But luckily, it was only in the CAD stages, so they just cancelled the whole thing.
I still think there was more. Was more. Yeah. Why would you release one loco in a scale that another manufacturer is bringing out? I have a funny feeling that they had more in the pipeline.
I like to think that this starter set. I like to think that this starter set might be a catalyst to get other manufacturers involved, though, because I'd love to see the likes of Dapol taking their Pannier or their Prairie and downscaling into TT. I think that'd be just brilliant.
I think I need to stick to guns here. I think manufacturers need to stay in the scales that they are. I don't think they need to branch out now. Dapol are good at O. They are great at O. They are probably the flagship right now in O gauge.
The only reason they're good in O gauge is because of Lionheart, though.
I mean, which is fine.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine. I think it's a waste of resources. I think TT120 has been lucky. I mean, I don't know the sales figures. You know, we don't know the sales figures. We don't know how well TT120 is actually doing.
Oh, it's definitely going to take off when that starter set releases, though.
Right, but it's going to take off now. It's been out for 2 years. You know,
I think that's what's pushed them to release this starter set. I personally, now we're talking about it. I'm actually starting to think that they had to feel they felt like they had to retool the starter set 00 gauge loco. Definitely, that has been overdue for so long now.
Yep.
And they thought, you know what, sales on TT aren't great. How about we downscale this to TT and re-release it as a starter set?
I think that's exactly what's happened.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Look at Rinker's comment. Using this line to get money in the bank, it won't last.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Is
I can see
inadvertently, because of this is speculation. Let's just put this out there. Like we're not sure of exactly what Hornby's financial situation is with TT, but inadvertently, Hornby have done what they should have done years ago by being under the crunch with TT and just releasing a starter set that appeals to everyone. So it's like a happy mistake on their part. I don't think they planned it. I don't think the set was perhaps maybe meant to come along, but it had to. And in doing so, they've made us all go, I could do that.
Yeah.
It's like it wasn't a planned thing. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No one's going to look at the Hornby website as a newcomer and think, hang on, 250 quid for a starter set? Screw that. But people are going to go onto the Hornby website and think, you know what? 90 quid for a brand new starter set. I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at Phil's hit it on the head. We will know if TT is successful because we'll see Santa's Express. We'll see Coca-Cola. We'll see the Beatles. We'll see some stupid gimmicky stuff in there, and we will know that TT is becoming profitable because they can do fictional crap like that.
See, I think we're a while off that purely because they are making the most out of the Thomas chassis, trying to milk that chassis for all they can while they don't have the rights to Thomas.
You like that,
Aaron? They don't need to make a ScotRail version, mate. I'm already interested. Don't worry.
Anything with ScotRail on, Hilton will buy it.
I will, but like anything's large logo, I'm pretty interested in too. To be fair, so
we need to talk Hilton to get something GWR liveried again.
What?
No. I'm not gonna pain him with another.
We're not
lemon.
doing that, guys. We're done.
No. He's gonna build a kit first.
He's got one GWR liveried loco, and I don't think he's going to go any further than that.
Well, that's gone now, isn't it? That's going, isn't it?
It's on its way to Slovakia.
No, it isn't. You've still got one.
I keep forgetting about it.
I hope you haven't sold that to James. You know?
No. I've got it.
Oh shit!
Don't worry, I got it.
Can you bleep that out?
No, it's live. We can't bleep anything out.
Damn it!
It's okay. You can drop a shit every now and then, Rob.
Yeah,
it's after 9 o'clock. It's after Watershed.
I was going to say it's after Watershed. We're good. Annie. Annie says they should make a small line and produce one loco from each region and see what sells best. That's not how marketing works, unfortunately. They know their bread and butter is LNER, and that's what sells in 00. So that makes perfect sense as to what would sell in TT.
Hornby are creatures of routine, of habit. Yes, they've got Scotsman, they've got the A4s. That is going to be their go-to in anything that they do.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't
know. Hey, I feel like I really do feel strongly that if they did a GWR set, it would do well. I really do.
I think it would.
There are way more GWR men out there than LNER guys.
They have just released that county set, haven't they?
Well, yeah, but it's the old tooling county set, which I was tempted by.
I want one purely to convert into like a narrow gauge version.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'd literally just cut out the coal load in the back and then put a person in the back.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a smart move for them not to do Great Western.
They leave it to people who do it better.
Well, it's not so much that. but you get the knowing fan base on the hook first, and they know that people love the LNER. They know that that's what sells because they make a Flying Scotsman or a Mallard or something like that every year, and they sell.
Yeah.
How often do they make a new king or a castle or or something like that?
I think maybe they're just scared because the Cura scale made an amazing manor.
As they bloody well should be.
Yeah, but you've got Cura scale making manors. You've got Dapol that make prairies and the moguls
and the manor,
and you've got Cura scale that are also bringing out their pannier tanks as well.
Are they? It's still waiting.
Oh, guys, so I don't know. I do think that there are more GWR fans.
No, I'm not saying
there than I'm just saying Hornby within right. It seems that they're shifting a little bit away from LNER lately. Again, let's not go under the perception that Hornby is just focused on two companies. They're not. It's just so happens that those very new toolings are within their range right now. Yes. So, give them a hot minute. I'm sure we will see GWR stuff coming along and Southern stuff because, damn, the Southern line is neglected.
I was about to say, I love the way we're talking about them ignoring Great Western, then we just completely blank Southern completely.
I mean, everybody should blank Southern, but
No, they shouldn't. Don't be rude.
No, I think somebody mentioned not long ago that actually there was a large period of time where Hornby had a massive focusing on Southern.
Yeah, didn't they release a brand new streamlined Bullied or something? Is the I can't remember the name of it.
It was one of the spam cans.
Yeah, it was really beautiful as well. I thought I loved that tooling.
It holds
the malachite green one. Oh,
I don't know. Right, hang on. So we've got predictions for TT120 locos, class 37. They've announced class 37s.
Aaron, keep up. Come on,
man. Already bought one.
Black 5 and SR Pacific, maybe a Ginty or a Pania, possibly a branch line passenger set.
I think that the J50 answers that branch line passenger set right now.
A J50 with a couple of
a Pania would do well.
Yeah, the J50 with a couple of old school Eastern region push pull set would be brilliant.
I suspect the Pania probably would be the first GWR.
It will be.
We see.
It will
be. Yeah, definitely. It'll use the same chassis as a J50, so it makes sense.
Which is a cop out, but
Yes, but it's cheaper.
Milk it while you can.
And at that scale, you're not even going to notice.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Although you say that, Rinka will notice.
He always notices.
But will the newbies to the hobby notice?
Okay,
I must
admit,
what else we got? The four-wheel coaches. Russell's just mentioned in the chat.
Yeah,
those four-wheel coaches. If they put a set together with a Terrier and two of those, will be absolutely brilliant. A mid-range passenger train set will be brilliant. Or even do like they did with the first kind of generation double O gauge sets: a Terrier, a coach, a wagon, and a brake van.
So let's have a look at these here. Look, so you've got BR variant,
actually
SR variant.
James, what I wanted to say was I was looking through that particularly, the rolling stock, and I think they've done a damn good job.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Nice big variety of rolling stock because there is something for pretty much everyone. Yeah.
You've also got to remember that Pico have TT scale rolling stock as well.
Yep.
So there is actually getting to be a decent variety. Whichever area you model in, to be fair, it's getting there really quickly. It's just the locomotives that are lacking.
I mean, but look at this. I mean, it looks great. It really does look great. I could see a set of that roaming around without an issue.
Roaming around and roaming.
But a 35 quid a coach. I know it's new tooling and I know it's all new fancy TC120, but it's still a little bit like, I don't know. It feels slightly overpriced to me. I might be completely wrong, and I might be completely blowing myself out of inflation and
Hang on a minute. Let me. Hang on a minute. 40 quid for a
we'll
TT gauge coach.
Okay, it's okay.
Well,
Rob.
It's 35 quid. 35 quid for the TT120 for the 4-wheel coaches. So you're looking at 35. You're looking at maybe 30 quid at the retailers. I suspect 29.99 at the retailers.
Can I just say one thing? Is that I can get 3 NG7 wagons for that price, or 1 O gauge wagon for that price.
But you got to build it.
A kit? Yeah, I was gonna say
you got to build it.
No. Yes. No. NG7 I have to. But the O gauge one comes ready built from Dapol for 35
well, there you
quid.
are then. Well, so I think somebody was mentioning this. It might have been Tom at Buggleskelly was explaining that actually producing something in N or TT is not disparate. You're not paying less for the tooling and the manufacturing, at least as much less as you would be expecting to, as compared with 00. Actually, the tooling and the manufacturing is a relatively the same cost. It's not like half the price for half the size. It's, so sure. I can understand why it's a bit expensive. Modern tooling, modern manufacturing, etc. But still feels a little bit like
the person to put that in perspective with me. Sorry, go on, Harry. Go on.
No, you go. It's fine.
The person to put that in perspective with me was Dan from Rapido. Like in terms of production costs and development, it just opened my eyes to what developing things in a new scale to developing things in an existing market. The risk is massive.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I agree with you, Rob. James, I just want to ask, can you go to the Rails website and can we look at prices on Rails?
Sure.
As opposed to
sure, we can look at Rails.
Other distributors are available.
Yeah, but we will call out, where a lot of people are.
I think it's just a nice baseline for consumers because I think most of your orders are going to come from.
For sure.
Well, yeah,
Rails.
a lot of our Discord members are from other countries that aren't British, in all fairness, so they will use Rails as a baseline.
Well, I mean, I have to use Rails as a baseline for some of my stuff, so. So, triple pack of, say, shell tankers is 81 quid. You're looking at 215 for the HST set. You've got these were 31.49 at the retailers. So you're saving 3 quid 50.
Okay,
that's not a huge amount.
Going to the retailer.
I was expecting a bit more.
I was expecting 29.99.
Yeah, that's crazy.
J. Paul Anderson. Yes, we have some slight music in the background.
We do it to hide our drunkenness.
It's not doing very well, Rob.
It's for Rob.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're looking at 10%.
I love it. You should have red wine every Thursday.
We're looking at 10%. We're looking
You've got
at
me
10%.
for a month now, so.
I love it.
I mean, even the Terrier is down to 143.99.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's 143.99. So
I like that price.
I mean, I like it, but I think I would still buy something. I mean, can you buy what you can buy something in the Hornby Railroad range for a similar price,
Yeah.
and be fine with it. Like, so the freight train set is, it's 10% off, so it's 90 quid instead of 100 quid.
How much did you say?
90 quid instead of 100 quid.
So it's not much. It really isn't much.
It's 10%. It's not much at all.
Yeah.
So I've just realised I'm not showing everybody what's going on. My bad.
No one needs to know what we're talking about.
This is going well, guys.
No, it's all right.
I think what's lacking here is I'm just looking at starters because I'm now seriously considering a 37. But my thinking is if they had a more modern starter beyond just HST, like a modern freight starter with like the class 50 or something, I'd be in.
Well, look,
I would be.
I think that'll come. That'll definitely come soon.
Well, let's look at it this way. So if you took the class 08, I just saw it. Where was it? Last page, probably. So look, you've got a class 08 is 134.99. So even for the loco, you're overpriced. And I think that's going to be the same with any new diesel locomotive they bring out. The price is going to jump instantly.
But then, is it competitive with Engage though? Because Graham Farage probably put out a tank engine that's probably about 120 quid.
And I think that's why they haven't done it. Because if you look at N, there are comparable starter sets for similar prices that are tried and tested.
Yeah, because how much is that new pannier tank set they've just brought out with the 2 wagons and the brake van? That's what, 150 quid for the loco, well, for the set.
Are you talking about the Farage set?
Yeah, the baseline starter set.
Looking now.
Just for the people watching at home, I would look, but I'm on my phone.
I'm on my phone.
Mummy phone, mate, innit?
Yeah, I can only see that. I can't see it on rails.
164.
164.
Which is Hornby's direct competitor regarding TT.
So there you are. For the price of a Terrier, or the price of a Duchess of Sutherland in TT, there's an Engage starter set. I mean, of course there is. It's going to be slightly less for Engage.
Engage has been around a lot longer. Well, in terms of support, TT has had a 30-year lapse in British outline before Hornby have brought it back along and tried to make it good.
I think this is what makes me laugh. The Freight Runner train set from Hornby, which is 00, costs less than the TT of the same locomotive, and it's the same locomotive wagon and wagon set, and it costs less.
Again, I feel like the TT version of that locomotive is more detailed.
Yeah, 100%. 100% more detailed. I mean, look at this thing.
But if you downscale,
it's got steps though.
If you downscale the O gauge version of the B4 into TT, that thing would be to the point where you wouldn't be able to pick it up without damaging something.
Yeah.
What they've done with the TT version of this is they've just made it bigger, and therefore it looks less detailed. They've put this brand new DCC fitted chassis in it, which I can't wait to buy in bulk. and it's going to be a game changer. The double O gauge one is anyway, and it's going to be a game changer for double O gauge at least.
I do think that these triple packs of wagons are a great idea, and I think it's definitely what manufacturers should be leaning towards now, and I think they are starting to lean towards now, is bringing out.
Cura Scale started that though, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think.
Well, no, Revolution did.
No, Revolution did. I think.
Oh, right, yeah. I knew it was one of those that are up and coming, really, because Revolution are even more up and coming, aren't they? Because they've released some stunning N-gauge models, absolutely stunning. I believe they were also behind the N-gauge 56 with helping Sonic models as well, and that model is absolutely next level.
That's actually sorry, Rob. I see Russ was saying, why don't we have blue-gray Mark 1s yet? And I feel like that is a very good point. How do we not have blue-gray Mark 1s? Because that is actually almost the most British thing ever, isn't it?
Do you know there's a funny thing about blue-gray Mark 1s and why there isn't as many in preservation as people like to hope there would be. And that is due to the fact that heritage railways believe they get vandalized easier and quicker.
That's interesting.
More. Because every heritage railway that's got a blue and grey rake, they are always the one that vandals pick first.
James, where did James go?
He's disappeared, I think. James,
he's got a crying child. Oh. Speaking of blue-gray Mark 1s, guys, all right.
I'm sneezing.
We talk of blue-gray Mark 1s and he disappears. He gets upset.
Yeah, I know. Just gonna.
God's sake, James.
Let's keep going.
But yes, I totally agree. Blue-gray Mark 1s go hand in hand with a large logo 50, which I believe they've released.
Yeah, it's coming.
So they've
no.
They're
not in TT.
Really? I thought that modelrailway guy had a class 50.
I think it was. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was GBRF and. Hold on, I'll check for you now.
In that case, what they should really release next is a class 800, because they're really going for modern image.
Yeah. It's true. So there's the GWR livery. There's the GBRF. I don't see. Wait, maybe I've not checked the final page. Oh no, you're right. There is totally a large logo blue one.
So they've released a large logo 50 and not released anything to go with it.
Really? I mean, I guess
they've got the tooling. Why not do the livery as well? You know, other like companies like Acura Scale and Dapol, they do so many different liveries of the stuff they make now. Hornby should be following suit, surely, especially for a scale that they are solely flagshipping.
Well, yes and no. So, I mean, looking at the TT120 range, they announced. I'm looking at the Mark IIIs here. They announced GNR and Virgin, and they've done a complete suite of Mark IIIs in those two liveries.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have done more liveries, but what I mean...
They're probably trying to get the most out of the tooling that they've got.
Yes, well, but for Era 9, what other liveries are? What other liveries could you do for Era 9?
First Great Western?
Well, the fag packet livery.
No, the purple livery with the... Yeah, we got Grand Central.
I mean, that could do... they've already ruined Grand Central. Don't let them do it again.
Did you guys see that class? Did you see that 800 in... somebody posted it. It was from, I think, Trainsim, of the 800 in Grand Central colors.
No.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it.
I'm still living in hope that they eventually repaint all the Pendolinos in LMS crimson.
That would be hilarious.
That would be really nice.
I'd love to see the Big Four come back.
Yeah, that would be really cool, actually.
Just imagine a Class 91 on the East Coast Main Line with green power cars and DVT with teak coaches.
Can we just?
Yeah, that would be really cool.
We're going completely off the bandwagon here.
Look at it! Look at it!
That is sexy as hell.
Hang on.
Come on, that is pretty, right?
I'll bring up the proper.
It's something you didn't know you needed, but now you know.
You
know
when I said that I wouldn't have a Class 800 on my layout.
Right.
I'd run that. It looks
sporty.
Honestly,
it's got go faster stripes.
It really does.
That's grand. I love that. That actually looks great. Whoever built that in Train Sim needs an award. I'm looking at another photo of it now. It looks fantastic. God.
Okay, comments. Let's go back.
Yeah, let's get to the.
We're sidetracking again.
Sorry, guys. We are paying attention.
This is what you're here for. This is what you're here for. Deal with it.
Me and Hilton are half cut, but James is still on it.
Let's go from So Rinka disagrees. The running gear looks the same. The more I look at it, the more I'm starting to agree. That's for the B4. I still think it's great. I still think it's cheap, but the tooling for the Freightliner set is 45 years old, so owes them nothing. TT is going to be more expensive. We've literally, I think you might have just missed that coming into the stream.
Yeah,
we were literally going over and comparing the prices of certain items in Double O to TT.
On that front about the Freightliner set, I have seen that mentioned before that is a reused European. Is it Fleischlin set?
Fleischlin.
Fleischlin. Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, sounds like
I'm British. I don't pronounce things properly.
German properly.
But I've seen that before, where it's just a reused kind of model, so it's nothing new. Anyway.
Short answer: no.
No.
No. Although I did watch Joseph's video on TT. No, I did watch Joseph's video on TT, and if you haven't yet, go and watch it. I thought it was quite insightful.
Yeah, I do love Joseph's content. It's very good.
SCCR birdcage coaches. Let's really screw the heads of the buyers. I mean, yeah, why not? You know, anything goes. I think for sure.
We need some pilot coaches in TT.
Okay, you need the locos first, please. Just like
no. Do completely throw heads and do rolling stock first.
Just like roll it off, and then just like 5 years down the line, do some locos. You've been collecting for so long.
We need a loco to go with these coaches. Oh no!
Is that really how things work?
Who wants to run a HST with Mark 1s in between it?
That's what happens when you shunt for too long, Phil.
With red wine.
With red wine, yeah.
That's why we do this. This is us blowing off steam every week. And you just get to watch the nonsense.
Literally blowing off steam.
We never advertise this stream as a calculated, well-rehearsed talk show.
It's usually just 4 idiots who have absolutely no idea what they're talking about.
I was going to say no other time to do anything else.
Whoa, hang on a minute. Hang on, that's your saying, Hill. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, it's not.
10% of the time.
Just Matt is saying just run a HST with freight in between. They're a diesel loco. Diesel means freight, right? Honestly,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, why not?
No. I'm gonna let you in on a little James being young. I once asked someone why the Class 43s are never pulling freight. Because it looked to me like it was just because I knew it was a locomotive and it just happened to match the coaches it was with. But I went, but that's got a cool livery. That has the same livery. Why can't that do the same thing? You know,
James, I'm gonna
That's a very
completely
fair point.
like
I'm gonna completely poo on both your parades and say that Class 43s now are used by Rail Adventure to pull goods services.
what? I need to see a Class 43 on a goods.
There are probably going to be many pictures if you Google it. Rail Adventure Class 43. They are also used for light locomotive movements of heritage stock as well.
I was going to say I see them moving other Class 43s,
but normally they're two Class 43s joined, pulling a goods service more than having freight between the power cars.
Okay, that's a network rail rake. That's train sim. Keep reading comments. I'm looking for a freight pick.
Matt makes a good point about the rail adventures with Network Rail. Obviously, they got the test trains as well. To be fair, that's not freight, but it is kind of.
I mean, it's yellow. It's yellow on the back of a grey HST.
Rail Adventure have been seen pulling a container train before. I've seen pictures of it.
I can't find it.
I'm Googling.
Are we all
Rob,
Googling?
I think you're lying. I think you've had too much wine.
I think you've had too much wine, mate. I can see Network Rail. I can see them pulling other Class 43s. Anybody...
Oh, hang on.
Is it
train? Found one.
I've got something. Hold on. I'm sending it to you now, James. What's this?
What's
this then?
What is this? What is this?
Where did you send it? Discord.
It's coming on Discord now. I mean, it's not freight, but like.
I mean, it's a tamper. Is it a tamper?
We're getting something.
Still goods. Still utilities.
We're gonna blow this up, and here you are, guys. You saw it here. Application. You saw it here. There you are. Class 43 pulling something. There you are. Rob's gone sideways.
Rob's really excited about this.
Yeah, he's really excited about it.
He's so excited he went sideways. When I search Class 43s, I get South African locos. So
I got the Mexican one.
What?
There's a class 43 went to at least I think it's Mexico.
No, it's an orange.
No, there is I think one of the ScotRail livery ones ended up in ended up in Mexico.
Look at it. Look at it.
Look at what?
The Discord.
All right, hang on. What is that?
It looks so wrong.
What is that? We've completely derailed the stream of TT120 by looking at Class 43. But, I mean...
Train set. There. It's right there. Hornby train set.
That is... diabolical.
Woo. Okay.
So there you are. Yeah. So yeah, if you went to Mexico, exported to Aussie land as well.
XP are they the XPTs or something over in Australia?
Yes. XPTs? I think so.
think that's what they're called. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be one or two in the chat. That can tell us.
It's XPTs in Australia. Don't look terrible, actually.
But they were sent when they were first manufactured. They weren't exported like as they got decommissioned over here.
Yeah, I don't get. I don't think I would do well seeing a Class 43 running up and down something like the SVR. Like I don't know how my inner body clock would like that.
It won't be long before you see full-length HSTs arriving on heritage railways.
I know.
I can guarantee that now.
I know,
Yes,
and it's a daunting thought.
I know that the West Somerset Railway are currently holding a castle set that they use on galas. I can totally see Great Western giving them soon.
Ooh. That's next week's topic. Let's not. We'll get to there. We'll get to heritage. XPTs are generally geared slower with different suspension. Not sure why. If you know why, please tell us.
But they're fundamentally Class 43s.
Well, I mean, it's the same tooling, isn't it? Right. Look, let's try and finish up at least staying on topic. So, any final thoughts, questions, queries, or inputs on TT120? We'd love to know your thoughts. Have you been hooked by it? What would it take to get you hooked by it? Do you think?
More 37s.
100% more 37s. 100% more 37s.
What do you mean more? They haven't released them yet.
I know, but they're coming.
They're coming.
And Hilton has got a special place on Dunroman where he's putting a TT set.
I've been thinking about changing the name of the channel from Proper Chuff to Proper Thrashed. I just think that seems a little bit more apt lately.
I totally agree.
Proper Thrashed. It sounds like somebody's just getting a really good hiding.
Is that your only trans
Sure.
account, is it?
Sure.
I want to say that I think that on a personal level, I think that the future of TT is looking bright for Hornby after this announcement. I think this announcement did a world of good for them and what they're planning next. I don't know if it was purposeful, as we discussed earlier. It might have been a mistake and a knee-jerk reaction to poor sales. I don't know the data, and I'm just speculating at this point, but I will say that I think that as it stands, the future does look good for them. They've got clearly some kind of market going for it, and they're dedicated and committed to pursuing it long-term, hence, such a great announcement. So I'm excited. It's something that I definitely consider now a bit more than I did, say, a couple months ago before this announcement. It's certainly something I'd like to maybe explore in a small format of my own. And I think it's cool. Prices aside, you can debate that for days about everything in model railways. It looks like a solid presentation. I just think that they need to maybe focus a little bit more on the GWR and maybe balancing out their eras a little bit better. While there is something for everyone, I feel like maybe we should try to focus it a little bit. And I think in TT's case, actually modern image is the right direction for it, given that it is, a new scale, essentially. Well, it's a revised or revived scale. But given the young modelers who would be likely picking it up, I think that they need to perhaps focus their intentions onto stuff that's a little bit more modern traction. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I get that.
I totally agree with you, Hilt. Though the only thing I don't agree on is that Hornby concentrating a little bit on the GWR, because I still lean on the side of, this could be maybe. I know you're saying Dapol is O gauge primarily, and I totally agree with that. Though I think that could be the perfect entrance for either Acura Scale or Dapol to bring their own ball to the game and enter into this market.
I think it could have been.
Could have been, yes.
I think it could have been, and I think I don't think it's too late, but I think now these other manufacturers are more committed into other things now to be wanting to focus on TT.
I don't know. I think considering Dapol are bringing out this 1400, this could be their time to bring that to TT.
Maybe after this announcement. Maybe after this announcement, we'll see something else from somebody else.
This
it may have been
the kickstart it needs.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I think it might have been a wait and see from other manufacturers at this point.
Totally.
I'd really like to see Helgen step back into things. I really would. I'd love to see them get that 31 out before Hornby does now.
Either that or
that, just get some friendly competition. Like, just do it.
Either that or Helgen bring like a 33 or a high mech or a 52 or even a class 60. Something else.
They've got it there. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I personally think with this announcement, Hornby are 2 for 2 this year.
Yeah,
I think they definitely are 2 for 2 this year. They did really well with their 00 announcement. They obviously wanting to bring new modelers into the hobby. They're looking at their demographic and looking at the people that are coming up. And I definitely think, of course, there could have been some tweaking. There could have been maybe a little bit more modernity, but it's very difficult and very expensive to do something modern. We're seeing that right now with the Electrostar from Acura Scale. That thing is ridiculously expensive, but it's ridiculously modern. So it's going to cost.
It's probably because they're having to get the plans actually directly from the manufacturers. They roll off
that's another
production line, aren't they?
That's another point. I mean, considering this is the other thing as well. Considering that Hornby recently released the railroad versions of the Class 800s, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw in the next Hornby announcement a TT version of the Class 800s. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great move.
Absolutely. But yeah, more competition would be great. If anyone's listening and cares about us enough, which they don't. Let's be honest. Please go make some TT models and give these guys a bit of a run. It would be good.
It would be nice to see some friendly competition for sure.
Absolutely. And we've seen that Hornby can do it in a friendly way, with Rapido. Love to see that. Love to see a bit of jolly cooperation, so to speak.
Yes. Let's throw pieces of paper at each other with lots of big words on them.
Yeah.
No, I genuinely think that it's healthy. It's only healthy for the business, for the hobby itself. And it will just improve things over time, I think. And if they want TT120 to be popular and keep going and be the next scale, because I think that's what they see it as, or at least maybe that's what they saw it as, and now they're just dragging it out and seeing if it actually is. You need to encourage other people to do stuff with it. Hornby, the Hornby aren't the powerhouse they used to be.
Yeah.
At all.
Though that being said, like I disagree with you saying that they're dragging it out. I'm not sure if that's you just saying you think that's what's happening, or because I feel like they're focusing on it now. Like they are committing to it. They're in.
I mean, yes, but I mean, what I mean by dragging it out is that I think it's taken too long to get to this point. It should have been the first year sets of announcement, and then the second year, this is what this should have been second year, not third year.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed with you. 100%.
And I'm worried that next year will be a sort of similar small set, and then we'll get another one in 2 years' time. Another big set in 2 years' time, and I don't think that's good enough if you want to push a new scale.
Yeah, James,
they
the
need to
wine
push at
has
the
really
entry-level
got to
stuff.
Rob's head.
I know it has. He's doing work.
I know he's just bumbling around and looking at things from different angles now. And
No, I'm trying to get
It's
Tom
gonna be
Rolt running.
oh no, Tom Rolt.
Here we go.
Now?
He's coming by. Look.
Jesus.
Hey.
Look at her go. Oh, she derailed.
Oh my god.
Right. I think this might be our cue. What do you think, Hilton?
Yeah, I think so too.
Rob, come and sit down for a second.
I'm coming. I'm sorry.
Finbro, it's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you very much for joining us.
I wanted Tom Rolt to run before the stream ended.
It did for like half a meter.
Like 2 seconds. It's great. So, I think a good way to cap this off is I think we're very happy. At least the three of us are quite happy with the TT120 announcement. Surprised, I would say, for sure. Pleasantly surprised. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where TT120 goes in the future, and I might even be tempted by it.
Yes,
Me
when
too,
they do
now.
the 37 pack.
When they do that 37 pack that is coming.
I think I might have to get Loch Rannoch just so that I've got it.
I knew. No, Hill, you have a problem.
He wants to get 37 class 37s.
I'm getting there.
How close are you to 37 class 37s?
I'll count while you guys talk.
Have we got any questions that people on the stream would like to ask tonight while we're waiting on Hilton to count his 37?
Yeah, you got like 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes for Hilton to class his 37s. Christ, I need to sleep. To count his 37s.
I can tell you've been drinking as well.
I've had one thing of cider.
Pretty lightweight.
One thing of cider.
One
What's a thing.
thing.
I've still got a third of a bottle left.
Christ.
Okay, we're on 12.
You're on 12.
Yeah.
Need to bump up those numbers, Hilt.
So it'll be 12.
I
It'll
know,
be 12 and a
rookie
half.
numbers.
It'll be 12 and a half if you buy the TT one.
So then I have to buy 2 to make
And then you have to buy 2. See, I've got you, mate. I've got you.
So
Appreciate
if he buys if he buys an N gauge one, then how much is that?
A third.
What if he buys an O gauge one?
Oh, then it's 2.
2? Is that it?
Yeah, you get 2. Spring is asking, what whiskey are you on tonight, Hilton? He missed
I
it.
am on Edradour. I was on Edradour. Bill sent it to me very kindly. I was very pleasantly surprised. Really, really nice, beautiful sherry cask whiskey. It almost feels like a dessert whiskey. It's got such a sweetness, like a sort of wonderful aftertaste that kind of lingers in your mouth. And sorry, I'm talking about whiskey, but we're just going to take this moment to talk about whiskey. All right, okay. Cool. But I just couldn't bring myself to pour another glass because it just felt so special. So I am now on Yellow Spot Irish whiskey because it's cheap, it's Irish, and yeah, it's the second one of the night. The first one is usually special. The second one, not so much.
Not so much. Perfect. Aaron is saying, can Ron please not drink wine next week as he's more chaotic than me?
Stop it, Ron.
Stop it, Ron.
Ronald Weasley.
I knew that was coming. Sam, let's have a new story range for TT. Put some damn respect back on the Bassett Low name. I mean, I think I mentioned it earlier. When we start seeing the gimmicky stuff in TT120 from Hornby, we'll know they're doing fine.
Yeah, we got the Beatles coming. Don't worry.
You know, oh my days! If I see Beatles coming in, I will go back to Hornby bashing, and I will not forget.
before Hornby released their basic lope range, they had quite a good reputation with the O gauge community. But when they released that, oh my god!
Actually, a good point. You know, I know Bachmann have the license for Thomas, but how would you guys feel, coming from somebody who's not a Thomas the Tank Engine fan? How would you guys feel if Thomas went to TT?
Oh,
isn't that a good play?
No,
it's in N. It's in double O. Why not?
I don't think so.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like because you're talking about a younger generation of new modelers, Thomas and TT seems like a no-brainer and the perfect place for Bachmann to step in.
I mean, yes, that would be if they were going to drop into it. I would say yes, but I don't see it. I don't see it coming.
Sure, no, I hear you. I just it
let them
almost seems
concentrate
like
on NG7 first.
Thomas is like the Thanos of model railways. He's inevitable.
He's inevitable. Yes. No. Beatles is the inevitable. Coca-Cola. No, I agree. I think if one of these companies wants to jump in, that would probably be a good start. T199, thank you very much for joining us, mate. It's an absolute pleasure.
That's Callum.
Callum.
Bye, Callum.
Callum. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think about it. I don't think it'll ever happen. And honestly, my wallet would not be able to contend it.
No.
I was looking at eBay the other day, and my daughter came in, and suddenly she was going, "Can I see this? Can I see this? And can we buy this? And can we buy this?" And suddenly it was Thomas everywhere.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Rob did fall off his chair.
Rob did fall off his chair.
What? I've been falling off my chair.
Yeah, you did.
He did. We all saw it, mate. We all saw it.
It was.
He just crawled to the table to climb up.
I graciously got off my chair. Actually,
graciously fell.
I've got Tom Rolt on goods
boys.
now, so hopefully you'll be able to see that before the stream ends.
Oh, hang on.
Okay. We're gonna wrap this up. So better get going.
Let's have some questions before we finish. Come on.
We've been doing that. There aren't many more. I think we're about done anyway.
My live chat feed isn't working apparently. So.
Guys, please like the stream. That would be really
please,
cool. We
please
never
do.
get like more than 10 likes, and like
please come back for more chaos as well.
Oh yeah, definitely need more chaos. We also need to call out the. Let me find a sub count. We did hit over 109 subscribers now, so thank you very much, everybody. Really appreciate it. We are at currently. Yeah, we're at 10 likes for the last one.
Tragic. It's tragic, guys.
It's absolutely tragic.
Definitely
We're at 12. We're at 12
this.
likes for this one.
Okay, there are 15 people watching. How is this
Like
possible?
and subscribe.
No, but really, we really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much
Thank you, guys,
for chipping in. So next week, I will not be around. I will leave it to these three if they will decide whether or not they want to jump in or not.
I mean,
what
we'll
have you
do
got
it.
better to do, James?
I mean, if they are, I will be around. I just won't be on this. I won't be talking to them. I'll be in the chat.
Is there a
more
football
chaos.
match going on?
No, my mother is coming to visit on Thursday.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Yes,
you missed the stream, Tom.
Yes, Tom, you did miss the stream. But no, my mother is coming to visit. She's bringing some goodies. So I will be. She's coming in on Thursday. If she was coming in on a different day, I'd say screw it. But it's her first night here, so I can't exactly, yet.
She's bringing you a TT 120 set. James.
If she brings me a TT 120 set that is not a HST, I will be very upset.
James, there's only one thing you can do.
It's the Scotsman.
Keep calm and carry on.
Bring her on the stream with you.
Oh God, no. God, no. There is not enough whiskey in the world.
Aaron, it's spelt like this. Please come.
Oh, Oh.
All right, let's wrap this up, boys.
I think we're going to give that a call that out. So thank you very much for stepping in and watching us cause chaos for the last 2 hours, as we usually do. It's nice to see Rob letting loose.
I'm sorry.
He's so red.
No,
he's so red.
Hang on.
What's more red?
Oh my days. Christ. There you are. No, so again, I want to reiterate, thank you very much. If you liked the stream, please give it a like. We would like more than 12. No, I'm kidding. If you aren't already subscribed, please share with your friends, family, get everybody in. Go and see the Discord, come and jump in. It's really lively. Every day there's conversations about God knows what. So please come in and come and join us. Rob, any final comments?
And where can people find you?
I am the Kill9. You can find me on YouTube's. You can find me on Instagram. And you can find me on the Discord as well. I'm quite active on there, taking the mick out of other people, normally. Yeah. Don't drink and drive. And probably don't drink and stream as well. That's probably a good idea.
No, you can do that.
You have to drink and stream. It's the law. Hilton, my friend, thank you. Where can people find you?
You can definitely find Rob on Instagram, because one of his reels of a little gate opening and closing has nearly 1 million views.
What is it on now?
It's on like 750,000.
Are you kidding me?
Bear with
me. Are you actually kidding me? How is that
ridiculous?
Absolutely
insane.
I need to find it. I'm going to find it after this. But
all right.
Yeah. So where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. That's pretty much my platform. Proper Chuffed. Although we are debating Proper Thrashed.
No, it sounds wrong.
Let's give it a hiding. And then I'm also on Instagram at Proper Chuffed.
Let's give it a hiding. Jesus.
Go ahead. What about you, James?
You can find me on Instagram at the Little Western Model Railway. You can find me on YouTube at the Little Western Model Railway as well, and also on Discord. I'm around occasionally. Keep your eyes peeled this weekend, because there might be something on YouTube.
James is releasing a video, guys.
James is releasing a video. It's happening. It's happening. No,
it's
happening. So keep your eyes peeled, and you'll see this weekend. But I've been James. I've been with Rob and Hilton, Dan in spirit, and we will see you all. Well, they'll see you maybe next week.
One last thing before we go.
A what?
750,000 views.
Jeez, that's actually insane. So it is 750K.
That's just insane.
Phil, thanks for the moderation, by the way.
Yeah,
and
Phil,
good night,
as always, thank you very much. Bill, thank you very much. Right, with that,
thank you, everybody.
Push the button. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Okay, don't forget to
later.
end the stream, James.
I'm going to do it now.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
See you later.